Hey guys, so with the most recent exciting development, yes, I'm talking about the NAPSA partial withdrawal, everyone has been in a frenzy about how to access that money and how to probably invest it in something meaningful. And we have heard terms like bonds and treasury bills flying around. So what exactly are these bonds and treasury bills? Well, that's exactly what this video is about. In this video, I'm going to be explaining what bonds and treasury bills are, what you need to qualify for one, how these securities are issued, and how you, as a member of the public, can gain access to one. What's the minimum amount of money that you need to invest in one of these securities? How much return you will get on your investment? Applicable taxes that you absolutely have to bear in mind before investing in one of these. And we will look at some examples to help bring the point home. So let's get started. It is a well-known fact that government needs funds to be able to operate. Government needs funds to be able to pay nurses their salaries, doctors their salaries, teachers their salaries. The government needs funds to be able to build roads, construct hospitals and schools. And the taxes that we pay alone cannot cover that wage bill or that expense bill. And so the government issues securities such as treasury bills and bonds to help cover that expense. So a treasury bill or a government bond, in essence, is a note by the government to a lender such as me and you to pay you back the money you invest or you give the government, plus additional interest after a specified period of time. So what's the difference then? What's the difference between a government bond and a treasury bill? Well, the difference lies in the tenure, as simple as that. A treasury bill is a government instrument with a tenure of a year or less. This means that you get your investment back within a year of you investing it, and the terms can vary. For example, in Zambia, we have treasury bills that mature after 91 days, after 182 days, after 273 days, and after 364 days. So that's 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 1 year. Then a government bond is an investment security with a tenure or maturity period of 2 years or more. And there are various types of government bonds. In Zambia, for example, we have government bonds maturing at 2 years, at 3 years, at 5 years, at 7 years, at 10 years, and at 15 years. So 6 types. So why do people invest in government securities? Well, for one thing, it's in the name, right? Government security. It's the most secure and safe way of investing your money, right? Because you're lending to the government and the government carries no risk whatsoever. The government is not going to go anywhere with your money. It's going to stay put. As a side note though, there is an exception to the general rule, and the exception is when a government defaults on its bonds. That is when a government fails to honor its obligations. However, that added level of extra security means that your bonds or treasury bills will have the lowest rates on the market, because as the saying goes, the higher the risk, the higher the return. The lower the risk, the lower the return. Let us look at a typical example. So for every treasury bill interest calculation, you will need 3 things. The first is the proposed tenure of the treasury bill, whether it be 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or 1 year. You will need the discount rate or the bid price, and you will need the face value or required value at maturity. So now let's look at this example. In this example, you as the investor want to invest in a treasury bill with a face value of 100,000 kwacha. The tenure of that treasury bill is 1 year, and the interest rate or bid price is 86 kwacha 202 ngwe. So given these variables, how much would the bank deduct from your bank account in order to get 100,000 kwacha at maturity? Let's look at the formula. The formula says the cost value is equal to the face value times the bid price over 100. And in our example, our face value is 100,000 kwacha. Our bid price is 86.202 kwacha divided by 100. And then we work that out. Our cost value comes down to 86,202 kwacha. So the bank will deduct 86,202 kwacha from your bank account upon successful bidding of your treasury bill. How much do you earn in terms of discount interest? Well, because of the 86,000 kwacha 202 that was deducted from your account, when your treasury bill finally matures, you are going to earn 13,798 kwacha as interest, calculated as follows. 100,000 kwacha, which is your face value, minus the amount that was deducted from your account of 86,000 kwacha 202 to give you 13,798 kwacha. But bear in mind, we have the tax expense that we have to take care of as well as the handling fee. So when you factor the tax of 15%, that's the withholding tax, and the Bank of Zambia handling fee of 1%, the net amount earned that's finally credited into your account is 11,590 kwacha 32 ngwe. So there's some of you that might be asking, where do we get the bid price of 86 kwacha 202 ngwe, or how exactly does that come about? So the bid price is calculated based off a formula, and the formula is the bid price is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus the tenure of the treasury bill divided by 365 days times the interest rate, and then everything multiplied by 100. So in our situation, we have 1 divided by 1 plus the tenure of the treasury bill in question, 364 days divided by 365 days, times the interest rate or the cutoff rate shown on the Bank of Zambia tender, 16.0511% as shown on the Bank of Zambia tender auction results. And the result of that and the final calculation gets down to 86 kwacha 202 ngwe. Is that worth it? Well, it's up to you to decide. Generally, the interest rate gets better the longer the tenure of the instruments you want to take out. So, for example, a 91-day treasury bill will have a much lower interest rate as compared to a 182-day treasury bill or a 273 treasury bill. For the most up-to-date indicative rates in treasury bills, please be sure to visit the Bank of Zambia website and scroll down to their treasury bills section on their homepage. Okay, we've talked about treasury bills, but what are bonds? So government bonds by their nature have two elements in them. Because of the nature of their length, government bonds will typically pay bondholders interest income on a 6-month basis throughout the tenure of the government security or the bond. And because of the technical nature of bond calculation and the financial math involved, I will upload a separate video detailing the exact calculations involved, what is called the time value of money. So let's talk eligibility. Who is eligible to access a government bond or treasury bill? Well, anyone can access a government bond or treasury bill. However, there are two requirements that every investor must meet. The first is that an investor should hold an account at a local bank denominated in kwacha. And two, they should register with the CSD or Central Securities Depository held at the Bank of Zambia. What's the minimum amount of money that I need to be able to purchase a government security? You will be happy to know that you can buy bonds or treasury bills for as little as 1,000 kwacha. However, investors that are buying bonds and treasury bills between 1,000 kwacha and 499,000 kwacha fall into the non-competitive tier or category, and this tier simply means you are given the interest rate that is prevailing at that time or what the Bank of Zambia deems fit, and then those that invest money from 500,000 kwacha going upwards get to compete or bid for competitive interest rates. So in short, the lower tier simply get whatever interest rate is offered to them on the table, and the higher tier get to decide what interest rate they want to charge the government, and the government gets to pick which of those bill tenders is the best that they can choose. The next question is, how do I purchase a government bond or treasury bill? Well, there's two ways of purchasing bonds or treasury bills. The first way is going directly to Bank of Zambia, and then the second way is purchasing them through your local commercial bank. Another interesting question you might have is, what if I decide to change my mind after I've bought my treasury bill or government bond? Can I resell it? The answer is yes. There is an open market for government securities, and you can get to sell your bonds and treasury bills through your local bank or broker. So that's all I have for you guys today. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you found this presentation helpful. See you in the next video.